you want to go first?
I think mentorship is the path forward when the road for someone who is looking to grow in their profession or just in their life is unfounded. I think it's important to have those outlets, to have those people that you can ask questions about or about things, people who you can rely on for advice, just people who have been through what you're going through and sharing ideas and conversation on that could benefit you as a student.
I think mentorship is partnership. I think it's stewardship. It's guardianship. It is love. It looks a whole lot to many different people. I think that mentorship can take on the form as familial. It can take on the form as friendship in some instances, and more often than not, it is that stern hand and advice when you need it the most.
I also feel like it's something that comes along when the student's ready, then the teacher appears. So kind of going on your own course, a lot of times you'll find or just run into somebody who has been where you're trying to go. And it's important to establish and develop those relationships. Well, Corey Favor, Senior Director of Community Engagement for Orange Brown Media, husband of Shayla Favor. I do a lot, but I started off as an artist. I was an illustration major at Columbus College of Art and Design. I've been a arts entrepreneur owning my own graphic design business. I've been in design leadership at The Ohio State University, as well as technology at Ohio Health. And now my role is I develop partnerships for an outdoor advertising company in all 28 markets and drive home the mission of our organization. But I've been blessed to grow and develop professionally within the arts. I also serve on multiple boards and arts organizations as well. So just an art student who grew up and continues to work and be an advocate within the arts.
And my name is Shayla Favor, and I have the honor of serving as the 52nd Prosecuting Attorney for Franklin County, Ohio. Prior to that, I had the honor of serving Columbus as a council member for the last 5 or so years. And previous to that, I served as an assistant city attorney with the Columbus City Attorney's Office. Outside of that, I am a wife and a godmother and auntie and all things community advocate and lover. I think that Corey and I have been extremely blessed to find one another at the stage that we did, because we grew up together. And so our much like our individual "who are you," I think that who we are is so much more than just a couple. Right?
I would agree with that.
We are engines in the community that care very much about the state of our community, what arts and creativity and the benefits of those things have had for folks that look like us. We genuinely have, and neither one of us are from here.
No.
But we have chosen to make Columbus our home. And so we have evolved both individually and collectively into, I hope, these amazing public servants.
I can honestly say that, and chime in if you agree or disagree, that our story's been about community.
Yes.
Whether it's been personally or professionally, it's always sort of been the thread and the narrative of our shared experience here in Columbus.
Yeah.
I would honestly say I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I was able to achieve that goal early in my professional career. And I think what that experience was for me was transformational. Mm-hmm. Some would say that it was an experience that now that I don't have my business, that it might have been a failure, but I don't look at it that way anymore. At the time I did. So I had a full color graphic design business, printing business, and design firm. And we were in business for 5 years. We closed the shop down, and then I transitioned into my career path. But my career evolved from there. And unbeknownst to me, what that experience taught me early on was about community. And when I was looking for a job, I had all kinds of relationships, from mentors, mentees, to people that I worked with that helped me find what my next was. And just as any artist should be, as it comes to their work, their career should be as iterative as their work. So you should always be evolving, tweaking, fine-tuning, and changing what your original canvas looked like. So I constantly want to grow and evolve in anything that I do. And I think my arts background reminds me of that as I continue to grow professionally.
And I would, when I went to The Ohio State University, I knew that I wanted to go to law school. I always tell the story about my first example of what this career looked like came by way of watching The Cosby Show and seeing Claire Huxtable depict what appeared to be a powerful black woman with a briefcase, and that's what I wanted. But really it was this intersection of justice and advocacy, having seen in my community injustices and wanting to help in some type of way. But I think back to that first year or two at OSU, and while there were definitely guides along the way, neither one of us had formal mentorships,
no.
Right? There were people that popped up, kind of like guardian angels at some point, that helped us when we would veer off a path,
That's
right?
True.
And I'm grateful for those informal mentorships, because they helped to shift us when we needed it the most. But I knew that I was going to go to law school. It was just all about the timing for me. And so I am grateful for those who encouraged me along the way, not just to pursue what was a goal of mine as a young person, but to take those leaps of faith that some would steer away from.
Yeah.
That there were the right guides at the right time that encouraged me to explore my creativity. And that creativity is what helps me to be, quote, successful in the ways in which I need to be right here, right now. And so I'm so grateful for those informal mentorships that got me to where I'm at. This moment that we're sitting in is, honor is not, that word just does not do it justice. I am incredibly grateful for the moment that we're in. I know that without a shadow of a doubt that I truly am living my ancestors' wildest dreams. And with that comes this great responsibility that I carry every single day, knowing that the grace and the favor will be there to help guide me, even when I am faced with some of the most challenging problems that this job can present itself. I am honored for those who laid the path for me to sit here. Folks like Janet Jackson, who is a history maker in her own right, so many times over in our community. Folks like Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, who continues to be the epitome of strong Black leadership in our community. But I also think of those unsung heroes like my mother, who worked for the federal government her entire life and showed me what strong work ethic looks like. Without this example of leadership And without that stewardship of mentorship, I don't think that I would be sitting here before you today. But I also know, as Corey said it earlier, that when the student is ready, those teachers will appear. And so I always encourage folks to lean into their journey wholeheartedly, because you don't know where that journey is going to take you. And there were so many times when I wished that a certain type of mentor would appear before me, not knowing that sometimes we are serving as that for ourselves and learning how to be exactly what we are seeking to be. But it is through that challenge that skill, that blessing will appear. And so my experiences and with mentorship and stewardship have truly run the gamut. But what I know is that they all helped me to arrive at this place that I'm in right now. And hopefully we'll do it great justice. Not just to be the first, but to make sure that that door stays open for so many other folks in our community.
Yeah. So my journey and development, I always like to say, isn't the traditional path. So I didn't have many mentors coming up. I was always under the me against the world mantra that I think a lot of young black men kind of live their lives and lead through.
You also a New Yorker.
I'm also a New Yorker, so you really couldn't tell me too much. You know, I thought I knew everything, and that got me to a point. Hard work and grace of God got me to a point. But then it becomes challenging because it's really hard to navigate what the next is. So my collegiate experience wasn't the best. I didn't go to my graduation. I started my business while I was in college. And I remember telling my mom, who I would consider and count as a mentor, that I didn't want to go to my graduation because I didn't have the greatest school experience. I always spent my time at OSU and just out exploring the city. But there was a point in my career where I said I didn't want students of color to feel the way that I did going to CCAD. So I donated a lot of time back to BSLA, Black Student Leadership Association, connecting them with resources and other arts professionals and small business owners in the community, donating time. And then from that, I went to an alumni event where I saw somebody that was giving a board member giving an award to an alum. And I told myself that I think I would be a great board member because I know what I can bring to this college. Dr. Corn, who was a close friend, and I view her as a mentor also, was a new president. And I had a conversation with her, and I was actually accepted onto the board, where I've been serving for so long that I forgot. But I've chaired external relations and have been a great resource to the board. I've served on the executive committee. I've helped with the capital campaign. But it was, so my story has always been one of just trying to make spaces better than when I got there. My mentors that I'd like to say that helped form me in this city aren't all the CEOs and executives that pour into me now. They were people from the community. Mm-hmm. They were the Sonny Martins at the time, and the Tony Sharps, and the Will Hightowers, and people that took a chance on a young black kid who had a graphic design firm. And those relationships have paid tenfold and have allowed me to be a better person and a better man and a better husband, and so many relationships that I have now would not be for some of those tough experiences that I had as an early entrepreneur in the city. So as I mentioned before, I think it's important to continue to grow. No matter how old you are, you can always learn from somebody else, be open to new experiences, and when you're ready, those mentors will continue to serve a purpose in your life. And it's not just what they do for you, it's what you do for them. So a lot of my relationships now, Keith Key's one of my mentors. I do the outreach to reach out to them. My CEO, who I report directly to, Pete Scanlon, he's one of my mentors. It's important that you bring something to the table in those relationships, that you are the one that reaches out no matter how uncomfortable those conversations might be, and be honest with what you're asking for. Because as you mentioned, sometimes it could just be professional advice, but it can also be personal advice. And I have different mentors now at different stages for different reasons. And I'm blessed to say that I have given so much to this community that it has been able to help me develop those relationships and have genuine relationships with people. I think Shayla and I have never been one to have transactional relationships. We've always wanted to have genuine relationships with the mentors and the people that we have relationships with. So,
and those are the best ones, I think.
Absolutely.
For both, when the mentor is getting just as much out of that mentoring relationship as the mentee is. And I appreciate you kind of taking us through that journey, because it's important for anyone who's watching this and may be feeling as if there's a void, because they don't have a certain type of mentorship in their life, to not be discouraged by that, and to also look at that challenging experience as an opportunity to make it better for someone who comes after you. Because I think about truly your experience, your undergraduate experience, and what the way in which you have been committed to making sure every student that goes to CCAD now has a better experience, particularly those students of color. And so you have taken that experience and turned it into something good, now serving as a mentor for young folks too. So I think that that's a really great, circle story.
I mean, honestly, sometimes I just feel like I'm doing the work and I don't give myself enough credit for the work that I do. And there's a lot of, I hate to name names because there's a lot of people that I could have said.
We both could.
We both could. Too many people to name, but thank you to everybody in our lives that supports us, that we work with, that we collaborate with, share ideas, and continue to make this community better. And it's a privilege to just kind of celebrate that and talk about that, how important mentorship is.
Absolutely. So. I say all the time that it is really hard to be what you have never seen before.
Absolutely.
And so while we make it we make it our business to help as many young people as we can, we know that there are so many more people that we will never touch, but it's the way in which we choose to show up in community that hopefully will speak volumes, so that we're having a mentoring impact without ever even having a conversation.
Agreed.
So much.
Yeah. Shout out to Bo Chilton, Oyama Garrison, Marvin Clayton.
Did you just say you weren't going to start naming?
I know.
All right. Okay.